And welcome to Fredio Live, where we are talking about topics on reachable reconciliation. I've got my great friend here today, Monica Denise Hampton.
Hello. What's up? Right.
Yeah.
You said my full name today. I'm very proud of you.
I did, because we're trying to brand it, right?
Right.
We're trying to brand it.
Yes.
Right. It's Monica Denise Hampton. If you don't know,
now you know.
There you go. Great. Well, no, I appreciate you taking time out to join.
When a friend asks you to, when a friend tells you what they're doing and you can believe wholeheartedly in what they're doing, I believe wholeheartedly in what you're doing from the day we met in 2006.
Wow.
It's an easy yes.
I appreciate that.
And so finding the time for you and your audience is a no-brainer.
Wow.
I'm tingling inside.
All right. Yeah. Well, Monica, we again thank you for coming today. I know that you serve in so many capacities. I believe you are now the owner or startup of Weight Exchange, right?
Correct.
And
I'm the founder and principal coach of Weight Exchange, and that's XCHANG. X.
Right.
And that started after a major change in my own life. I lost over 100 pounds, and after doing that, yes, I did that by eating right, exercising, and doing a lot of mental understanding of who I am and what I'm going through and why I ate.
Wow.
Because a lot of people think that weight or food is just an addiction, but there's a lot more to that than just eating. So people wanted to know how I did it, what I did, and I kept fielding these questions.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and you know me, I'm part-time perfectionist. So to answer those questions and not have the credentials behind it, did not feel authentic to me.
Yeah.
So I went back and I started studying and understanding and get a better foundation of what nutrition was and what nutrition is and how food actually plays a role in our culture, in our daily lives, and who we are.
Wow.
So understanding me and food and the relationship that I have with food was able to then say to someone else, this is where you may be, or let's peel back the layers, because there was many a time, Fred, I'm not going to be real honest with you, going through the weight loss, I had to deal with what brought on the weight gain.
Wow.
So I realized I never liked Snickers. I haven't had a Snickers since 2012. Why?
As Eddie Murphy looked at the
camera. Right.
You ain't had no Snickers? Yeah. All right.
Because what made me eat certain foods, it was my comfort. It was the first thing that I put in my mouth after a traumatic experience.
Wow. Yeah.
So once I got through the reason why I had that traumatic experience and I dealt with the traumatic experience, I was able to put that food down.
Yeah.
And move on to something else.
That's huge.
So as I'm continuing on my journey as Weight Exchange, as a health and wellness coach, and not telling people what to eat, but helping you reach your goals and aspirations so you are a healthier and more well-rounded person.
Wow.
That's where I am.
That's great. Great. You know, look, we probably need to do a podcast just on that. Because I think there are many folks, including myself, because, I hide them with the big shirts, right? But including myself, could use that information. And it's not specific to one culture either.
It is not.
So I think a lot of people would really enjoy hearing and learning more about that. For today, because I know you carry or a whole lot of.
I'm a visionary, and I have a couple of other businesses that I absolutely do and enjoy.
Thank you for helping me out when I was struggling with words. And so I've known you with the communications background, administrative background. You've always served at high capacities there, and still do. And we had a conversation the other day.
Okay, which one? I'm
kind
of nervous. Right. We talk from time to time.
So we talked about, wow, what could we share as a topic under reachable reconciliation, and you shared a little bit about where you are now and what's going on with your weight exchange launch, and we talked about understanding who you are, right? And the funny that you mentioned was how we get in these situations, and some of you all, especially women, can appreciate this.
Y'all gonna understand this, right? Just a second. Is
that you ever been in an office and now it's time to either have a staff meeting or a staff retreat? And even if we don't want to talk about staff, you ever been part of something where there's an event, right?
Yes,
it's getting ready to occur. Yes. And they need the coffee, the donuts, the snacks,
the vegetable tray,
the
cheese ball.
Right. Who are they going to look at first?
Well, they're going to ask the women. We know they're going to ask the women. And I have gotten to the point where I am a wonderful cook. Everyone who knows me knows I can burn in the kitchen. I am a wonderful, fabulous cook. But I'm going to pick up the same vegetable tray Jim can. So when that subject comes up, I'm like, why are y'all asking me? I'm not going to go in there and play Betty Crocker. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go pick up something from the store. And guess what? Fred is just as capable of spending on his P card, because we all got a P card, on his American Express, whatever card you're going to use, and pick it up at Sam's, Meijer, whatever store you decide to pick up. No, not trying to plug anybody, but that's
funny.
That's funny.
And you're right, but that is, so even as we talk about reachable and reconciliation and just people in general, because one of the things that I try to highlight is that there are these natural tendencies that people have.
Yes.
And that's one of those natural tendencies, is that we need food, we need snacks, we need something administrative, we need to collect some things to serve people, and we look at the women. And
Fred, I'm going to tell you what's really crazy about this, and just to kind of piggyback on that, we do that at the base level, at the beginning level. But when we start looking at careers, and we start looking at those that are high level and extremely experts in their field, they're men. They're Gordon Ramsays. Wow. They're the Bobby Flays. The chiefs of staffs are very rarely women. Up until the latest administration did we hear of female chiefs of staff. But when we think of COOs, which are nothing but organizers, chief operating officers, they are organizers. They become men. When did women fall off?
Wow.
So that's something, I'm sorry, as if we were sitting here thinking.
That's good. That's good. And let's try to transition there, because we've talked about you being a health coach. We've talked about you being a communication specialist, and now we're even talking about understanding who you are as our topic today. How do we merge all that together? Where's the connection? So understanding who you are is a long-term battle. Some people are very fortunate that they have homes where they're allowed to cultivate and become who they are. Yeah. We're very fortunate to have parents that say, go try this, you don't like this, let's go try that. But in a lot of times, in a lot of settings, the financial burdens are there, the time constraints are there. Single parents have another issue that are dealing there. So now all of a sudden we're in our 20s. Yeah. And we're trying to figure out, what do I want to be when I grow up? We always say that. When I grow up, I'm going to be just like you. That's because we're in our 40s and we're still trying to figure it out. Well, stop. Take a moment, and then let's go figure those things out. How do you do that? Let's try some things solo. Yeah. One of the scariest things you can ask someone to do is to go out to dinner by yourself. A table for one. A table for one. I love it.
And when you ask for a table for one, number one, the hostess is going to look at you like, well, don't you want to sit at the bar? Right. No, I don't. I want a table for one. Wow. And you sit there and enjoy your dinner, your time with yourself that is set aside from anyone else, and then give to yourself. Find out there is a restaurant that you like.
That's great, Mom.
As a single woman, I go out to dinner by myself quite often. Yeah. But every once in a while I get a date.
Watch out there now.
But one of the craziest things I've ever heard is, where would you like to go? And you say, I don't know. That's because you haven't discovered who you are. Wow. So what do you like to do? Well, I really don't know what I like to do. Try some things solo. One of the things I did, and I think every person, especially women, and I mentor young girls in doing this. And one of the things I think is very important, especially for women, is to do something bigger than yourself before you make a major decision in your life. For me, it was traveling to New York City for 7 days solo.
Yeah.
I had never been. I had heard about it. I knew I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I enjoy the arts. I enjoy museums. But I had never been to a city bigger than myself.
Wow.
I had been robbed at gunpoint. Yeah, that's something you probably didn't know about me. I've been robbed at gunpoint.
Let's talk about that after this.
Yeah, okay. And I had become this shell of a person. So I had already dealing with my own issues, being weight, and all the things that came with that, which is a whole nother topic within itself. And then I was just scared.
Yeah.
I was scared to go outside. I was scared to see other people.
Wow.
And that was not me. This charismatic personality belongs outside.
Right.
So I was with a therapist.
Wow.
And I told my therapist, this is going too slow. This is not working for me. I'm going to pack my bags and I'll see you in 7 days. And he said, I don't think that's a good idea. I said, I think it's the best idea for me to get back to who I need to be.
Wow.
And I went to New York for 7 days. And there I was on my birthday at 29 years old. No, I turned 30. It was on my birthday. And I was in Central Park writing postcards to people back home on who I had discovered I was.
Wow. That's good.
And I came home, and I was in a relationship at the time for far too long. And but when I came home, I looked at him and I said, we will never get married. This relationship is not going to go where I want it to go. Yeah. It is not healthy for me.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. And it really wasn't in those terms, but pretty much I was out. And it was one of the best things I ever did for myself.
Yeah.
And up until recently, I travel by myself. Yeah. My financial advisor says I can't travel by myself. I need to save money. So I go with groups now. But even when I go with those groups, my girlfriends know there's going to be a day.
Yeah.
I need to set aside for me to go discover the culture, the community, and how I vibe with it.
Sure.
How do I feel about it? So, swimming with the turtles is cool.
Wow.
But I would have never discovered that if I had not stepped out of my own comfort zone.
Wow. That's good, Monica.
That's
really good.
That's one of the ways.
I did not know that. I didn't even know that story. In general, and so
there's a lot of layers to me.
There is. Now here's what's interesting is these podcasts go so quickly.
Oh, are we done already?
Well, we're getting close. So here's the thing, Monica. I'd like you to share, and even if it's highlighting what you've already shared, but maybe there are two things that people who are listening could take away that would help them learn how to have a better understanding or practice of who they are. And as you were talking, it also made me think of this is for everybody because there are Christians, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
They've been a Christian for years and still do not have an understanding of who they are. Mm-hmm. But I think you would be able to share a couple of nuggets that is for all, Christian, non-Christian, regardless of culture or background. Would you leave us with at least 2 points?
Well, and this is, I'll leave you with one thing. In 2014, I was doing that cleanse of myself.
Yes.
I was actually digging deeper in understanding who is Monica, Denise Hampton. And first I came to an understanding of my name. Monica means advisor. And I was like, whoa, my parents named me appropriately. But even more so, what does an advisor do? Yeah. And then I tried to find my purpose in that. So, and then what was my interest? So again, like I said, I've had this love of the arts and the museum. So what was my true passion in there?
Yeah.
So I tried a lot of things and I failed, but I always failed forward, and it's okay to fail.
Okay.
as long as you learn from those failures. So fail forward.
Absolutely.
And it's scary.
Wow.
It's scary starting a new business. It's scary.
Absolutely.
But we do it. And so in every step of the way, we fail forward. The other thing is, in 2014, I had a prayer because I needed to, in my Christian walk, in my faith, I had to ask myself, how do I get, because I'm a person, I'll be honest with you, I'm a cutthroat. If you know me well, and it's not because I cut you because I don't like you, I cut because I don't want to be hurt. So I had to ask God, I had to ask the Savior that I serve, how do I work through that? And I said, Lord, help me see who they are. Let me accept them where they are and who they are. And then help me put them in the right place in my life.
Wow.
That didn't mean put you out. I still love you and I want you to be the best you're going to be. That is my motto.
That's good.
But everyone does not need to be my bosom buddy. If I have 2 friends, I have more than enough.
Yeah.
So I have good friends like yourself that can call on, and I know that you can call on me, and we're going to vibe together. Right. We don't have to talk every day.
No.
We know we can rely on each other.
Absolutely.
So that, I would say, that was the biggest thing for me. Let me see who they are.
Yeah.
Let them be who they are.
Yeah.
Let me see who they are. Accept that. And then put them in the right place.
Sure. Now
we can do a whole nother podcast on familiarity, comfort, and trust, which is, we talked about that from 2006 to yesterday. But understanding the placement of people in your life, just like the disciples.
Sure.
All of them were not close to Jesus, but they all played a role with Jesus.
Sure.
He had his 3 that he trusted.
Right. And
I'm gonna leave you.
And so and that's good. And so before we close out, I wonder if there'll be somebody saying, I remember I had someone tell me, that's easy for you to do, Fred.
Ooh.
But how do I do it? And so in like manner with what you just shared, somebody might say, that seems easy for that chick there because, she's much stronger, right? Your personality. But where do I start? And so that's the last thing I'll ask you to share. Do they start with the person closest to them? Do they start with one person at a time? How do they start?
Okay, let me get a little bit deeper on that one. Start what? With understanding the people?
Right.
Understanding yourself and what you like and what you don't like.
You say you got to place them.
And you got to understand what you like and you don't like. So let's say you have a friend that loves going out to eat, and they love going to the soul food restaurant with all the pig and the sop and everything else. And you're trying to lose weight. You can't go out with them. It's okay. But you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That is as simplistic as it gets. Doesn't mean you can never go out with them, but you have to say, hey Fred, I want to have dinner with you. I selected we go to this location.
Absolutely.
Or hey, let's go and for a walk. Let's go down to the park. But I know you like this barbecue joint.
Right.
And it's going to cause me a problem.
Right.
So I know you want to be my friend and you want to be supportive of me and you want to hang out with me. But let's not put me in a compromising situation because my success and our success starts here.
Yeah.
And it's okay for you to put those parameters on yourself and the friendship.
That's great. Yeah.
So it's okay. And people, they're gonna push back. Because they're going to say, oh, you changed. You done got brand new. You think you grand. No, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to understand who I am and what I need to be and who I need to be. So it's okay to say no to some people because saying no is saying yes.
That's great.
Yes to yourself. And it starts in those very small increments. And it really starts with you. It really does. Yeah. What do you put in your cabinets? As a health and wellness coach, what do you buy at the grocery store?
Sure.
So if I want to be healthier, I can't buy Oreos. That was my weakness, I promise you. Double stuffed Oreos. Never invite me to your house and have double stuffed Oreos sitting on the counter. But those are my weaknesses. Sure. So I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah.
So why would I go out and say, hey, Monica, hey, Fred, here's a whole plate of double stuffed Oreos. I know this is your kryptonite. That's not being a friend.
Right.
So
no,
to me, that's where you start. It's the little things.
That's great, Monica. So
I hope that helped you.
We could, as you can see, we could continue to go on and on, but we want to honor your time. And so I really appreciate you sharing about understanding who you are, as well as learning to understand who others are as well. And as we're thinking about Reachable, I'd love to come back and build on this and do a part 2.
That's 2, 3, and 4.
Absolutely. And so you can look forward to us doing that. If there's some of you viewing that maybe something that you've heard as it relates to that topic, or even as it relates to health and wellness, and the Weight Exchange company that Monica is founder of, they can reach you at
weightexchange.com. That's WEIGHXCHANG.com. And Monica at weightexchange.com. MONICA.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, listen, we have a lot of neat things coming up on the podcast. You'll start to see not only some other people, but you'll also start to see more of a growth in maturity, if you will, as it relates to the podcast. We thank you for tuning in. Please share with others. And remember, we value who you are and what you do, because it matters.
It does.